Hello everyone, and welcome to Having Brighter Days. My name is Deanna, and today I want to show you how I make my kitchen towels using my Cricut machine for a silk screen. Now I am going to show you how I got my image and how I cut it on my vinyl. But first, let's go over some of the material that I have. I do have my 100% cotton flour sack towel. I do have my inks from Chalk Couture. I'll post the website from the lady that I order from. But these are the colors that I'll be using. I have my Cadet. I have my Candy Apple. And I have some shimmer, my silver shimmer. And I do have my vinyl, it's already pre-cut. So let's go ahead and watch how I cut my vinyl to get it ready for silk screening. All right, so now that we have our vinyl all ready to go, what we want to do is we want to keep our background, and we're going to weed out all of our words and our design. So let's go ahead and get started. Some tools that I have are just these little tweezers and a weeding tool. And I'm going to just start at an area and continue to work my way through. Okay, so now that we have our vinyl all ready to go, here is my silk screen. I just used Speedball, it's already all measured out. This one is about a 10 by 14 inch. That gives me enough room to do our towel, because our towel's working space is about a 9.5 by 14. So that's a perfect size for me. And the next I want to do is I have a roll of transfer paper. It's time to get a new one ready. And I'm going to cut it as close as I can to the length of my vinyl, because I need to transfer the whole thing onto our silk screen. silk screen quite yet, so let's get that out of my way. So let's get that in frame. I want to try my hardest not to get any bubbles in this part, because it makes it a little bit more difficult to lay it flat on the screen if you have bubbles. And it also allows the ink to kind of spread or smear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit at a time just to kind of help control it. So I'm going to peel it back just about that much. It looks like it took up some of the vinyl that I was weeding out, which is all good. I'm not too concerned about it. But I'm going to just pull back a little bit. Start from one side. And I have a squeegee or a scraper. I don't know what this is called. I call it a squeegee. I'm sure it has another name. I don't remember. And I'm going to just kind of gently push the transfer tape along on the bottom underneath, little at a time. And we can save this because when we are done using our transfer tape here, you can just apply it back to the backing and keep reusing it till it's no longer sticky. This is the reason why you have your image as a mirrored image or a flipped image, is that we want to do is get the back side of our silk screen. And we're going to take the backing off of our vinyl very carefully. Just kind of peel up the corner. Just don't stab yourself like I've done many times. Okay, now you can just peel that back. Kind of rolling it close. Now this is sticky, so this is going to stick. And then this reminder, this is another reason why I like to use permanent vinyl and not temporary or removable vinyl, because it's just not as sticky and it doesn't grab to the silk screen like I like it. Permanent is the way to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our vinyl. I kind of like to use the guides because this transfer tape has the grid lines. Helps me line up to the bottom right here so I know it's straight. And we're just going to push down, getting our vinyl attached. I like to also go this way where I have a flat surface. Give it a couple good push downs. Stuff on my table. And then the fun part again, now we have to remove our transfer tape from our vinyl. I'm going to start from this side, seeing if I can pick it up. I'm going to kind of do the same way I did when I applied the transfer tape. I'm just going to do a little at a time. Just getting it from the side. And to give me some control, I'm gonna put it back on the backing at the same time, but I need a little bit more work room. So here it is, still backwards, but you turn it around. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. So let's go ahead and get our towel all prepped and ready to go. We'll set this aside. We don't need this at the moment. We'll come back to it. Actually, you know what? I didn't do a quick, my silk screen is not the cleanest. I need to clean it out real quick. Just one more, kind of pushing it all down because we did pull it up with the transfer tape. So taking it back. If you have air bubbles out here, I wouldn't stress out too much about it. You really just want to make sure that your design, oh man, I'm gonna be right on the edge right there. I should have scooted it over. You just want to make sure your design is nice and flat. Okay, next is our towel. So I have my towel set up. I have a little sticky mat that I use from the website, and I just want to lay it flat so I don't have any wrinkles that are being lifted up. These are pretty nice and smooth. You can iron it to make it completely smooth, but I don't find that process or that step necessary because it doesn't really affect it once it's on. Then I have some Easy Tack repositionable adhesive. And I'm gonna spray this on here on my working area because I want the silk screen to stick to the towel and really get a nice good seal on it. So we're gonna spray this in the area and then we're gonna let it sit for a few minutes. Okay, our Easy Tack is ready to go. I'm going to, okay, so I know my towels, I have 14 inches before they kind of, you know, fold in half where you're hanging them. So I'm going to get my tape measure, and that's about halfway. The other trick I can do is get the other half of the towel, fold it in half, and that just kind of gives me a little visual of where that line right there. So, seeing my design is here, that's my crease up there. I'm gonna set it a little bit higher. Let's go right there. And then now we really want to make sure, because this is our last and final seal, that everything is ready to go. Okay, so here comes the fun part. Now we get to paint it. I have some micro squeegees that give me nice control for these smaller little designs. If you were doing multiple colors, if you're gonna go ahead and do one big color, then I recommend a larger squeegee that gives you just a few strokes and you're done. But we're gonna make this bad boy nice and colorful. So I pulled out my inks. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start with the candy apple. it. So I do just need to kind of make a few little minor touch-ups. I have a detailing pin that I can use. But first, before I do that, I want to take this to my sink and I want to wash it out. This blue loves to stain, and I don't want the ink to dry on my screen because then I can't use it. The ink is permanent, it dries up. So I've tried to figure out a way to reuse my stencil. Unfortunately, once I take it to I tried leaving the stencil on, I take it to the sink, I lose adhesive, and it just crumbles off. So I haven't figured out a way to reuse my stencils. They seem to be just a one-time use. All right, so I have my little detailing tool. I'm just gonna kind of go in and fix some of these areas that didn't quite get covered. So our ink is all dry and we can go ahead and heat set it. You can use a heat press. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't have one, so I'm going to be using your average household iron. And what you're gonna wanna do is put a piece of parchment paper in between the iron and the ink. And we're just gonna have it set on top for about 5 seconds. I'm gonna do light pressure. I do have the setting onto cotton, so it is a little high. And we're just gonna move along our design a couple times in each direction. There you have it. Our silkscreen USA flag. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and I'll see you on the next one.